Hello, right, this is lesson 6 for the higher people, and I might do this in two parts. Standard form. Standard form. Standard form is a way of writing very, very large numbers or very, very small numbers. So if you have, 112 with thousands of zeros on the end, and you're going to multiply that by 4, we don't want to be doing that. There's too many zeros. We'll get lost. So there's a better way of writing these sorts of numbers. And this is an ordinary number. So 4,000 is an ordinary number. And we're going to transfer that into a standard form number. Now, the standard form number is written this sort of way. It's 2 times 10 to the 6. Yeah. This is always 10 to the something, and the 6 tells you how many times this is going to be multiplied by 10. So this will be 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. 6 times. Yeah, 10 to the 6. 10 times 10 times 10, etc. 6 times. And this number is always between 1 and 10. It actually cannot be 10 because it must be a single digit. So it's 9.99. So how do we go about transferring this number here, this 4,000, into a standard form number? Well, we know the first number in a standard form number must be between 1 and 10. So therefore, this is going to be 4. And then it's going to be times 10 to the something. Now, how many times 10? How many tens do we have to multiply the 4 by to get 4,000? Well, you start with, that would be 4 point nothing. So we'll put the decimal point there, 4 point nothing. And you loop across 1, 2, 3. You loop across 3 times till you get to the end of the number, and that gives you your index. Yeah. So this 4,000 becomes 4 times 10 to the 3. Let's see whether we can got a mark on the screen there, but you can't see that, but I can see that. So let's have a look at 300. So the first number is between 1 and 10, which is 3. So go after the 3 and go loop once, twice. So that's times 10 to the 2. If you have a more complicated number, say 4, 8, 0, 0, 0, your first number must be between 1 and 10, so it's 4.8. So there's the decimal in between 4 and 8, and loop from there to the end. 1, 2, 3, 4 times 10 to the 4. So that's how to do an ordinary number into a standard form number. Now, we've got to know how to go backwards from a standard form number back to an ordinary number. So let's do 7 times 10 to the 5. What we do, we know the first number is 7. So you go your 7. And then from the 7, where the imaginary decimal point will be, you loop 5 times. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And fill everything in with all the zeros. Ignore that decimal point there. And you've got, how many was that? 5. 700,000. Yeah, is 7 times 10 to the 5. 2.8 times 10 to the 3. Write your 2 to 8 down there and go from where the decimal point is there and go 1, 2, 3. Fill it in with zeros and you've got 2,800. So that's how to go from a standard form back to an ordinary number. Now, standard form also has very small numbers, and these are represented by, say, 0.0003. Yeah, there's an ordinary number and it's very small, and we're going to have to convert that into a standard form number. So we know it's going to be 3 because the first number is always between 1 and 10. So find your decimal point there and loop 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 10 to the minus 4. Probably better to go from here backwards, go left. Yeah, so let's go left when we've got small numbers. So 0.007, 2, right, we'll go there. So this is going to be 7.2. So go from the 7.2 and go 1, 2, 3, back to the decimal. So that's 10 to the minus 3. Do another one, 0.008. So it's 8 times 10 to the minus, and we're going to go from the 8 and go 1, 2, 3, minus 3. Yeah. Now, of course, we're going to have to go backwards the other way, aren't we? So let's do 4 times 10 to the minus 2, and go back. Let's come back up a little bit. So what we're going to do from here is going to go from the 4 to where the decimal point would be, and we're going to go left 2 places. 1, 2. That's where the decimal point is. So it will be 0.04. And let's do 8.6 times 10 to the minus 3. Go from the point in the 8.6 and go 1, 2, 3. And the new one will be there. So it will be 0.0086. So standard form, ordinary numbers, backwards and forwards. Right, next part will be multiplying. Now, this takes you back to an indices lesson. So let's 3 times 10 to the 6 times 2 times 10 to the 5. So you multiply the numbers together, which is 3 times 2 is 6. And the 10 to the 6 times the 10 to the 5 becomes 10 to the 11, because you just add the indices together. So you can multiply those numbers to be 6 times 10 to the 11. Another one there, 4 times 10 to the 3 times 2 times 10 to the 5. So 4 times 2 is 8, and 10 to the 3 times 10 to the 5 is 10 to the 8. So they're already in standard form. Now, what happens if you get something like this? 6 times 10 to the 12 times 6 times 10 to the 4. Right. 6 times 6 is 36. 10 to the 12 times 10 to the 4 is 10 to the 16. Now this is not in standard form because it's too big. It's got to be between 1 and 10. So we need to divide that by 10 to get 3.6. Now it's a balancing act. So what we do to one side, we have to balance out onto the other side. So if this is made smaller, we're going to make that bigger. And what we do is, this is 10 times 10 times 10, 16 times. So we're just adding another one on to make it 17 times. So there. So that's when it's quite common, this question in an exam, when you get a standard form to multiply and the answer at first doesn't come out as standard form, so you've got to just move things around. So let's do this again. 4 times 10 to the, let's do a minus 3, times 4 times 10 to the minus 3. So 4 times 4 is 16. 10 to the minus 3 times 10 to the minus 3, remember we're adding these two together, is the minus 6. Now, this is too big, so we divide that by 10 to get 1.6. And so we need to multiply that by 10. Now be careful with the minus numbers, because 10 times bigger than minus 6 is minus 5. Yeah, so it's 1.6 times 10 to the minus 5. Division, yeah. Would you keep the numbers easy? Yeah, 8 times 10 to the 3, divide by 4 times 10 to the, let's make that a larger number because I don't want to get muddled up with the there. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. 10 to the 8 divided by 10 to the 3. So we subtract 8 divided by 3. 8 take away 3, sorry, is 5. So that's 2 times 10 to the 5. I will do the awkward ones. I'm going to do 8 times 10 to the 2 divided by 2 times 10 to the... I'll put 10 to the 1. I'll put a 1 there. We don't normally do that. But 8 divided by 2 is 4. 10 to the 2 divided by 10 to the 1 is 2, take away the 1 is 10 to the 1. So that would really just be 4 times 10. But it's still in standard form. You're very unlikely to get an answer where you're going to get 1. So what happens if these numbers are a bit different? So let's do 3 times 10 to the 9 divided by no, let's do 3. Let's do a number that actually works. 9 times 10 to the 3 divided by times 10 to the 2. I was right the first way around. But we do this one anyway. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. 10 to the 9 divided by 10 to the 2 is 10 to the 7. Right, 4 times 10 to the 9 divided by 8 times 10 to the 4. 4 divided by 8 is 0.5. 10 to the 9 divided by 10 to the 4 is 10 to the 5. Now, not in standard form. Got to make this 10 times bigger now to make it 5. So make this one 10 times smaller, which is 10 to the 4. Yeah, 10 to the 4. So multiplying and dividing. There's adding as well. Let's have a look. What can we do? 8 times 10 to the 3 plus 8 times 10 to the 3. I'll make these the same to start off with. So 8 plus 8 is 16. 10 to the 3 and 10 to the 3. It's going to be the same, isn't it? 10 to the 3. 16 is too big. Divide by 10 is 1.6. Multiply by 10 is 10 to the 4. Easy when they're the same. In fact, this is the only way you can do it. They must be the same as each other. So now we'll do a different one there where we're adding. We'll do the 8 times 10 to the 4 and 8 times 10 to the 3. See, these are not the same now, the indexes. So what do? We've got to make them the same. So pick on the small one. Yeah, so I'm going to make that 10 times bigger, times 10. To make that 10 to the 4, then it's the same as this one. So I've got to make that 10 times smaller, so 0.8. So plus 8 times 10 to the 4. Now they're the same. So 8 plus 0.8 is 8.8 times 10 to the 4. Yeah. Make them the same as each other. And the same when you subtract is, well, I don't know, 9 times 10 to the 7, subtract 4 times 10 to the 8. It's going to be too, that's going to be a minus number, isn't it? Yeah, I think, let's make that 6, 10 to the 6. So this is too small, isn't it? So we're going to multiply by 10 to make that 10 to the 7. We're going to divide that by 10 to make that 0.4. And then we've got 9 times 10 to the 7. Now 9 take away 0.4 is 8.6. and times 10 to the 7. So there you have it. Standard form. Okay, the other part of this lesson 6 is going to be some algebra. So I'll chop it up into 2 easy parts for you.